much for joining me today. I always enjoy talking with you because while I have some understanding of hormones and the impact of sleep on our weight, you're the expert in this arena. And I really want you to share with this audience who are setting New Year's resolutions right now the importance of their hormones. Thank you for taking the time to do this.
You're welcome, Lisa. So glad to be here. It's a pleasure. And, I'm passionate about this topic because I myself went through changes in my hormones, and my sleep got disrupted when I had my kids, but also when I was going through menopause. And so one of the biggest things that I can give advice on regarding sleep and hormones is to prioritize sleep, because it's because of our hectic schedules, because of our stressful lives. Especially stress hormone can play such a big role in our circadian rhythms and our sleep. As we know, there are 4 phases of our sleep. And if we are not getting the deep sleep, whether it's REM where we dream or the non-REM sleep, we can't retain memories, we can't be creative, and there is a link down the road with illnesses like dementia. So if we want to also lose weight, live longer and healthier, sleep is something we've got to prioritize in our busy schedules. As far as our hormones go, one of the biggest hormones that plays a role is cortisol, the stress hormone. But also your other hormones like insulin can play a role. So if your blood sugars are crashing and rising with dips and rises in your insulin, that can wake you up in the middle of the night, starving and ravenous and grabbing a bite from the refrigerator. Or if you have if you're going through perimenopause and menopause, some of these hormones like progesterone can play such a big role in sleep, memory, mood, emotions, brain fog, all of these. It is such a neuroprotective or brain protective hormone, and lack of progesterone can occur even in the perimenopause time and lead to irritability, insomnia, brain fog, all of these symptoms. And it's hard to figure out because everyone thinks of menopause as hot flashes and lack of estrogen, but also the lack of progesterone plays an especially bigger role when it comes to sleep.
So, normally when we're setting our New Year's resolutions, and many people are focused on improving their health or losing weight, and we'll set that same resolution year after year. And we're asking our mother, our sister, our next door neighbor what's worked for them. But what you're talking about is very individual.
Yes, we're all different. And yes, some people will get by with 6 hours of sleep, but others require more sleep. And yes, we have different sleep types. Like you have the bears and the wolves and the dolphins and the owls. But no matter what kind of sleep pattern you have, again, if you don't sleep well, it'll impair your metabolism, it'll impair your energy, it'll impair your ability to lose weight, because it'll then create this domino effect where it worsens your fat storing hormones like insulin, cortisol, as well as excess estrogen.
And I lived this because I spent 25 years in information technology. And as a network operations manager, I was on call 24/7. So, for all the people listening who say, but my job is really stressful,
Mhm.
I understand. And you probably get that as well.
Of course. And like you, Lisa, the nurses, the doctors, the EMTs who work the night shift, they have some of the worst circadian rhythms, cortisol cycles and levels, and that can totally impair, I'm sure you found it, that it leads to unhealthy eating habits, cravings, weight gain, because we're in that fight flight mode.
Yes. Yes, maybe I'll have the courage to share with the audience the pictures of me back then. And at 36 years old, when I wasn't getting enough sleep, I was working swing shift. We were eating out 7 days a week. This is
Mhm.
when I was pre-diabetic, triglycerides were 300. I had terrible cravings for carbs and sugar, which I tend to have if I stay up too late. Once
Mhm.
we get past 10 p.m., I start looking for carbohydrates and sugar. And I don't know if it's the programming from those years or if that's a natural thing because maybe my blood sugar's dipping if I'm up late.
So there are these hormones called leptin and ghrelin, which are your hunger and satiety hormones. And so when you don't sleep, your ghrelin goes up and your leptin goes down. And this can then lead to cravings. So it's not just that, oh, I don't have self-control. It's really what's going on with your hormones, because it plays havoc with your hormones. And then that can lead to cravings, and you want the unhealthy comfort foods, which can then lead to weight gain.
Well, I'm happy to know that it's not my own lack of self control. But
And
this is what our audience is dealing with. They're setting the New Year's resolution. And I called this deja vu because I know that we can set the same resolution year after year. And it
Mhm.
leads to frustration because we're trying what our mom told us or what worked for our sister. And I want to uncover that there could be something else going on. And
Exactly.
so you have a way of helping people with all of their hormones because they're all interrelated.
Exactly. Nothing that goes on within our body is disconnected. And your gut health and your microbiome plays such a big role in your sleep rhythms, your hormone balance. So it's this hypothalamic pituitary adrenal axis, which is interconnected with the thyroid and pancreas, as well as ovarian or gonadal axis. And then you have the gut and the immune system. So these systems are in crosstalk.
Yeah, and this is really good information. I like to help people with detoxification. I feel very strongly that if we don't remove the toxicity, it's an uphill battle. We can change the diet, but we have to remove the remove the interference. But where I have no insight is into someone's hormones. So one thing I do ask is about sleep because I know how important that was to
Mhm.
me. But there are tests that you can run and you have
Yes.
far more insight. So if someone is setting the same resolution or they feel like they can't lose weight, this is something that you can help them discern what's going on.
Certainly. So we can easily test. We can test in the saliva, in the urine, in the blood, whatever is convenient. And there are very good tests available to check all of these hormones and then balance them, really, number one, through lifestyle. And then there are other options like bioidentical hormones that can be a game changer in many lives. And people are afraid of hormones, but as women are living longer, we want to protect our brain, our bones, our skin, our well-being, our heart health, because it's only after menopause that women are at a higher risk for heart disease, cancer, all of these illnesses. So definitely there's a role for balancing your hormones for longevity, for well-being, but also for losing weight.
And I'm so glad you brought that up because, people are focused on losing weight after the holidays,
Mhm.
typically because we indulge a bit. And there's something about that New Year's resolution. However, I always say weight is just one indicator
Mhm.
of our
Yes.
health. And so when I talk to people, even about doing a detoxification protocol or changing their lifestyle, it really is for all of the other benefits where I show pictures that I look better now menopausal post 50 than I did at 36 because I wasn't sleeping, I wasn't eating right, I was smoking. Listen, I've done it all. So this is a judgment-free zone. I was a smoker and a Diet Coke addict, and I overhauled my entire lifestyle in my mid 30s as a result of fibromyalgia, a lot of joint pain,
Mhm.
weight I couldn't lose. So I
Wow.
always say this is a judgment-free zone. I really want to help people get to the root cause, which is what I did in IT, by the way. As a network operations manager, when we had an outage, I would have to do root cause analysis. And that's what I like to help people do with their health. So we can look at this as some root cause analysis, right? Weight is one
Absolutely.
indicator, but when they get their hormones balanced, there's all those other benefits of anti-aging, improved memory, improved energy.
Mhm.
Yes.
Absolutely. And improve sleep because if you're not sleeping well, it's almost like your other vital sign. And it's such a good gauge of good health because when you sleep restfully, it means you're recovering well, even when you exercise. So if you're a warrior, you get up at 4 in the morning to go to the gym to work out, that can itself raise your cortisol levels. And again, if you're at your desk the rest of the day, that may not be as beneficial when it comes to weight loss. So, skimping on sleep, even to change lifestyle in the form of diet and exercise, may not always work.
Yes, I prioritize sleep now, but I thought I improved my productivity by working around the clock. That
Which
caught
is
up with me. It
biggest myth.
doesn't.
Yes.
Yeah, the biggest myth right there. Yes. Now I prioritize my sleep so much so that my kids make fun of me. But it takes my daughter's wedding in order to keep me up past my bedtime. So me staying up all night this past week, that was a very rare occasion.
But totally worth it. And so, yeah, sleep is essential in order to really, at a cellular level, send the signals with the help of our hormones to make our own neurotransmitters like our serotonin and melatonin, which, and that's why sunlight plays such a big role. Nowadays, we have artificial light all day long, all night long. And that's when we started making a shift in our circadian rhythm. And that can even affect the bacteria, the microbiome. And they play such a big role, not only in sleep, but in metabolism and weight loss. So it's so intricately interconnected between the hormones, sleep, gut, immune system, and of course, stress and emotions.
Yeah, and I'm one of those type A personalities. So I'm sure many people will relate to having high stress levels when
Mhm.
my husband will say you have nothing to be stressed about. It seems like I always have something to be stressed about. So for me, I have to check that cortisol. I do a lot of breath work
Mhm.
as a
I
way.
love
And
that.
yes. So what can you tell the audience? What are your parting thoughts? Here we are, New Year's resolutions. People are probably burnt out from the holidays. What can they do?
So definitely, my biggest mantra is to keep it simple. And so, because everyone's different, do what works for you. Just prioritize your sleep. Just a simple thing like getting out in the sunshine in the morning. I think light is one of the biggest gifts that we have that is entirely free. And just using that. And I love the blue light blocking glasses at night to just have a bedtime routine to help you with your sleep and just something for self-love and self-care, like you do the breathing and meditation. So whatever is your thing, just do that and just be you, but definitely prioritize sleep.
Yes, I love that. So we have a link for you. We're going to include that so that our listeners can actually book a consultation. And I feel so strongly about people getting their hormones checked. This
Yeah.
is something that I recommend everyone see Dr. Farah. You can book a consultation with her right on her website. We'll have the link. She is
Mhm.
an MD. She is qualified to look at your hormones and to help you create a personalized plan.
Yes,
Don't get stuck in the same old pattern this year of trying what worked for someone else. This is how we need to move from confusion to clarity. I feel we get confused, Dr. Farah, because we're looking in too many places sometimes for the answer.
exactly. And like, it doesn't have to be that complicated, but definitely get the testing done. I love data. Data doesn't lie. And when you understand your own body better, the better you're able to help yourself.
Yes. Well, thank you for being a part of this. I wanted to bring experts like you so that the listeners can find someone that they resonate with and that they can go to and get their answers personalized, individualized. So there's no blanket silver bullet, one answer fits all, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. I wish there was. I'm looking for it. Well,
So
thank you for the time today, Dr. Farah, and I look forward to speaking to you again.
thank you so much.
Until next time, farewell.